$500. $500. In the current year of 2025, to date, this is the most expensive S.H.Monsterarts to exist. From what I've heard from sources, this is only supposed to be the one and only Mother Legion release that they'll be doing. But my god, $500 for a singular figure. Who on earth would even spend that type of money?
Chaos control! Stay hydrated, fakers.
So, hello everybody. My name is Seismic, and your eyes do not deceive you. This is the S.H.Monsterarts Mother Legion from Gamera 2 Attack of the Legion. I think that's what the movie is called. This was a pretty big purchase, but we're here now, and honestly, I would say let's just cut right to the chase and get this open. So, for the occasion, not only am I wearing my Papa Meat jacket, but I also have the cool knife for this momentous occasion. This is a figure that I've been waiting for, I mean, in terms of wanting a figure of Mother Legion my whole life, but in terms of S.H.Monsterarts, this is something that I have been waiting for a very long time. And this might honestly be a little too hard to unmask with the mask on, but we're gonna just see. I'm a YouTuber, I can outlive this. I might need to actually get up for this one though, so I'm gonna be doing a little bit of standing up for this one. Oh gosh, man, they really just packed it in here, like securely too. This is insane. Now, I will say, I have not watched really any sort of figure reviews on this gal, and honestly, I'm really not expecting many people to review this figure, considering that price. So it'll be cool to be one of the very few unique individuals who may have simple minds, like me, who bought this figure and decided to review it. Oh my gosh, hold on, I actually have to show this off. So check that out. At the top of the box, they actually put cardboard on the inside, and it has tape on it. So I guess like this helps protect the top of the box. I don't know, that's so strange. Oh my god. Let's just get that out of here. Ooh. Okay, I had to make sure that that wasn't breaking any figures. So if you guys are wondering, I did purchase the S.H.Monsterarts Mother Legion from Hobby Genki. So this is the card. Surprisingly, they shipped this figure really quickly. And I mean, already you can see that this figure's box, I mean, it's gigantic. Like, hold on. So I mean, if we just grab the S.H.Monsterarts Gamera 1995, I think, and we just place it with that, I mean, look at that size. Look at that size. Oh my god. So what I'm gonna do real quick is cut away, and we're gonna get the main figure box out and kind of get this one out of here. I will be keeping this because I've never seen a figure shipped like this before, so this is unique for me. Also, I did spend that much money on this figure, so I'm gonna pretty much keep everything that comes with it, so that way I just have it for sentimental reasons. So yeah, let's just cut to that.
All right, so I have a compromise. I'm not gonna be wearing my mask for this just for now, so that way I can see somewhat clearly. You can already see my glasses are fogging up. But I figured I would show how this figure is gonna come out of its box. I don't think I can just pull it out. No, like that is pretty much like vacuum sealed in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip the entire box around and just let it come out like that. So let's see. Surprisingly, the figure isn't that heavy. It's just such a massive figure. All right, now we just gotta let it ease out. There we go. God, like this is just how it came raw, just like that. That is like this is not only acting as sort of the, like, let me get it. This right here is not only acting as this basically, where it's that cardboard like casing for like the premium Bandai figures. So it's not only acting basically like this, but it's also quite literally acting as the shipping box itself. That is like a first. I don't think I've really ever seen that, or let alone I've never purchased a figure of this caliber that did something like that. So technically this is a part of the figure. But anyways, let's get this out of here. Enough yapping about that. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, this thing is big. That's what she said. I don't even know how to get it out of here. Okay, there we go. There's so much plastic wrapping on it. Oh, it's taped right here. Duh. That's probably why it's being held back. There we go. Look at the size. Look at the size of the plastic wrapping for this. That is like, you could use this as like a blanket or something. I don't know. I'm keeping this as well. Because this is, I mean, you could use this as a laundry bag. I don't know what I'm saying. I literally just got this figure in today and Hobby Genki shipped it like really fast. So I didn't really have much time to prepare for it, but there she is. More so the box for this girl. This is the S.H.Monsterarts Mother Legion's box. And my God, I don't even think I could put this on the turntable. Let's give it a shot. Oh my God. There's no way, I don't believe that. Okay, well, let's just cue the B-roll, I guess. And here we go. Now she is officially out of her cardboard prison, but still in the main package itself. So I do want to talk a little bit about the package itself because I spent that much money on this figure, so I'm going to talk about as much on it as I want to. Overall, it is fairly standard for a S.H.Monsterarts box, but the size and caliber of it is, I mean, it's phenomenal. This is without doubt the biggest figure box that is in my collection now. Nothing will probably ever top this unless if I do get like a Prime 1 Studio statue, and even those are more expensive than this. I will say I do like the colors on this one, the nice dark blues and the oranges. They look very nice, and obviously this is like the box is referencing the nighttime battle from Gamera 2. But yeah, so this is like the front view. This is the side view. Actually, what is on the side anyways? Oh, okay, so just like the side profile of her. And you can see there, it says like Gamera 2 Attack of the Legion, I think. Never mind, it says S.H.Monsterarts Legion. I'm stupid. Then on the back here, you have some more promo shots of our girl here. Nothing really much to say, it's just kind of standard. And strangely enough, on this side, there is nothing. It's just the S.H.Monsterarts Legion thing on there. Let me show the top view as well. I'm just gonna slowly put this one down. Surprisingly though, it's not that heavy, so I do appreciate that. As you can see there, it says Legion, and at the top, S.H.Monsterarts. You have a nice little blue area right here, very nice. You can see a little bit of her horn popping up from up here. Let's see, is there anything else on the back? Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, oh hell yeah. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. And yes, I will be trying to display her in her flying pose in this video. Very nice, very nice. And you got some legal mumbo jumbo on the side there. And I think if I just, boom, like that. So there we go. Overall, very nice box. Pretty standard for what you get with S.H.Monsterarts. And I don't think I'll be able to have the space to display this out somewhere, but I'm definitely keeping it, that's for sure, because this is an imposing figure box. And just for size, let me grab a Gamera figure, so that way y'all can see how big the figure box is compared to your standard 6-inch figure. We have the S.H.Monsterarts Gamera 2 Gamera, and as you can see, that is a gigantic box. If I'm not mistaken, this is probably the biggest S.H.Monsterarts box that does exist currently, and I don't really see anything else toppling this, unless if we want to maybe, I don't know who would top this. Maybe if they did like a Desghidorah, maybe? But even then, I feel like that would be around the same size as the Shimo that they did for S.H.Monsterarts. But anyways,
let's get this big kahuna unboxed, shall we? Okay, so I'm gonna be completely transparent. I would like to see what I'm doing while unboxing a figure of this caliber. So I'm going to be doing the unboxing segment mostly unmasked, but we will put the mask back on here in a little bit. For now, the I Survived G-Fest XXX shirt is going on, or hat is going on. And so, yeah, not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous to unbox this figure. But let's just do it, shall we? I guess let's just unbox it from the side. I was gonna say, I guess let's just undo it from the side, but that would have sounded too weird. Let's just get, I'm gonna wing it. Oh my God. Oh my God, oh, my finger's stuck. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Gee willikers. Hi, I'm back. Was there anything else in here? No, the whole thing's out, if you'll excuse me. Oh, it is strong in that one. I think I just ticked off like 40 years of my life just doing that. Yeah, these are this just alone for this is the accessories for everything. So then I'm going to, why did they encase her like that? I've never seen an S.H.Monsterarts figure be encased in the styrofoam stuff. Halloween themed content will eventually be coming. I just don't know exactly what yet. So yeah, big moment right here. Oop, a little bit of tape right there. It's all good. Oh my God, I already see her. All right, this is a big moment. This is something that is kind of a tradition with S.H.Monsterarts. Does anything fall off whenever I first pick her up? I'm gonna spoil it for you. Yeah, something already began to fall off. And there we go. There's the S.H.Monsterarts Mother Legion. Whoa. Freaky. Look at that. Wow. Oh my God, I didn't even know this could open up. I was wondering why there was such a clear seam line. Wow, okay. I guess we'll just continue forward. I think that's everything out of here. And I've just got a disassembled Legion here on my hands. So we're just gonna put everything back where it belongs. Oh my God, what in the world? What is all of that? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's a puzzle piece, this figure. Oh my gosh, it is being binded together by those things. So that's gonna take a while. So I'm going to go ahead and cut over to when this figure is fully unboxed and fully assembled, because this is already going on long enough. So yeah, it might take me a couple days considering I have an upgrade for the table that's coming. So, but for y'all, it'll be instantaneous. So let's just go ahead and hop over there. All right, so it's been a little bit. I now have the S.H.Monsterarts Mother Legion out of her box and assembled along with all of her accessories. I've been messing around with the figure for a little bit. So without further ado, I'm gonna cut the nonsense, get my Gmod tool gun out, and let's take a look at this figure, shall we? Okay, so before we get into the actual figure itself, I figured we should maybe do a history and a little bit of a recap on who the Mother Legion is. So let's do that. So taking a direct read from wikizilla.org, Legion is a species of extraterrestrial silicon-based kaiju which appear in the 1996 Gamera film Gamera 2 Attack of Legion. Gamera's second foe in the Heisei trilogy, the Symbiotic Legion were a race of insectoid aliens that cultivated colossal plants which allowed them to spread from planet to planet. Upon arriving on Earth, the Legion established a flower in downtown Sapporo, I apologize if I butchered the name there, who destroyed their flower and killed several of the creatures. The gigantic Mother Legion fled the nest and relocated in Sendai, where she successfully established a second flower and defended it from Gamera. Gamera prevented the flower from firing its seed into space, but was seriously wounded in the process, while the city of Sendai was completely leveled.
The Mother Legion and her soldiers made their way to Tokyo to build a third flower, with the JSDF helpless to stop them. Fortunately, Gamera was revived and flew to Tokyo to resume his battle against the invaders. Gamera was forced to call upon a dangerous ability that required him to consume the very energy of the Earth itself in order to finally destroy the Mother Legion and end her species' assault on the planet. And the Mother Legion here is basically like the queen or the leader of the Legion species, obviously. So with that little history out of the way, now let's get into the actual figure itself. Going into Sculpt, I would say the transition from prototype to in-hand copies for each individual person translated over pretty nicely. The sculpting and detail on this figure is very nice, obviously. It is a nice big figure with a lot of nice details on it. The texture work is amazing. I feel overall, in terms of the accuracy, I feel like it's pretty good. I don't see anything that's kind of like sticking out to me as being overly inaccurate, unlike some of their other releases. I don't know. I think this is a very nice looking figure. I think all the texture and sculpting work is done. From what I've heard, the original designer for this kaiju was actually brought on to make the sculpting for this figure, which makes sense. So overall, if they are only going to do one sort of drop for this release, I feel like the initial sculpting work on this figure was pretty good. I really don't have any complaints, and I feel as if the quality on the figure as well in terms of the plastic, while yes, some joints are a little loose and do pop off, I feel like the actual plastic itself is very high quality, and obviously I feel like if this figure did take a shelf dive, there is probably going to be a small piece that will chip off, but I feel like for most of the plastic quality, it's actually pretty good. Like, I do not have any sort of complaints with it. If I really want to scrape the bottom of the barrel in terms of complaints with this figure, I would say maybe her little arm things on whatever this is could maybe be a little bit longer and a little bit pointier, but I feel like with this figure, if there is any sort of stylization there, it's very subtle and I really can't notice it all that well. Again, I've heard that the S.H.Monsterarts Mother Legion is sort of a Halo release, which basically means it's a one and done thing, so I feel like for the accuracy, they did want to make sure it was as accurate as possible. So overall, if there is some form of stylization in it, I can't see it personally, and overall, I think it's pretty good. Going into paint, I really don't have any complaints for this as well. I feel like everything is nicely applied on. The base coat of bone white that they used for the figure is very nice and sticks out, and the shading where it is needed is also very cleanly applied. I am a big fan of the striking blue that is in Mother Legion's eyes. The crystal part inside of her mouth, nose, snout thing, whatever, is made of a clear plastic, so that's a very nice touch as well. I guess my only real complaint that I would have is I do kind of wish the stomach area with the red maybe had like some paint on it to kind of emanate a glow effect, but as someone who is a figure customizer, if I am feeling bold enough to the challenge, I might just do this myself. But other than that slight nitpick, I would also say the paint on this figure is pretty nice. After taking a look at this figure up close for a long time now, I really have not noticed any sort of paint splotches anywhere. There may have possibly been one on the stomach egg area, but it was something that I couldn't even notice again after looking at it multiple times. But other than that, for that potentially small little paint splotch in the stomach, there really isn't any sort of like paint overlay or paint bleed anywhere. Like, the paint for this figure is very nice. And now for the meat and potatoes of this review, which is the articulation of this figure. For a figure with a very complicated design like this, arguably one of the most complicated monster suits made in history, you're probably wondering how the articulation is on this figure. And my verdict? It's fine. Like, it's okay. It's about what you would expect from Mother Legion. It's not going to be like a Revoltech, but it's also not going to necessarily be just a statue. It's got articulation in there, and it has it where it counts. Like, for instance, the head, the torso, kinda, the legs, all of her spindly bits, and her arms, and surprisingly, I honestly thought they were going to make this a head accessory, her mouth snout thing. I will say there is a lot of ball joints and ball sockets on my Mother Legion copy that have a tendency of falling off a lot. My personal solution to this is just adding a microscopic dot of Gorilla Glue to the ball sockets and then just moving it around a lot. This may not be the most practical or safe or maybe even effective way of fixing the ball joints, but it's just how I do it. And it's been working for me for many, many figures. So obviously in the footage that I recorded, I will be showcasing the articulation a little bit. Apologies for some of the stuff falling off, but that is something that I do need to show, as there are a lot of like arms and legs on this figure that do fall off pretty easily. So yeah, one constructive little criticism that I will give is that obviously for some of the legs, there are some pins that are showing on the figure, which yes, for something of this price, you know, maybe don't show the pins, maybe just go at that a different way. Personally, for me, it's not that big of a deal. I don't really care, but it is something that I do need to bring up because I know that for some people, this is kind of a major what the fuck moment. So yeah, regardless of those little itty bitty complaints and stuff that I have to show off, overall, I feel like the articulation for Mother Legion is pretty good. Like, I really don't have any complaints. I really don't know how they could have done it any better than what they did. And so they used the design to the best of their advantage to make an articulated figure, and I commend them for that. Also, I will say while I was experimenting with this figure, I figured out that the mouth could do this, and now you have a Mother Legion wolf on your hands. Now let's go over the accessories for this figure. I will be honest, I feel like the accessories for this figure are pretty good, but I do wish there were some more accessories for this figure that didn't just contribute to the flight mode, because that is pretty much all of the accessories for this figure. You have the flight stand, you have her wings, and you have all of the different transformation bits that you need for her to transform into her flight mode. I would have really preferred if we did get some effect parts, like maybe her lightning effect, maybe the effect of the red strings that she emitted from her body whenever Gamera snapped off her mouth bits. And hell, why didn't we get any like Legion drone soldiers, just some little mini figures with it? I personally would have liked some more accessories with this figure that were just not a part of the flight scheme, that kind of helped the playability and helped justify that insane price for it. I feel like the accessories are fine. They contribute to giving you an additional mode for this figure, and oh, don't worry, we're gonna get into that nightmarish process here in a minute. So overall, while I do wish we got some more effects pieces, and I really do wish we could have gotten some drone soldiers, like honestly kind of a missed opportunity to make just a couple little Legion drone soldier minifigures, kind of like what they did with the Dorats for Mecha King Ghidorah. But I digress. The accessories are fine on their own, and I will admit the wings do look beautiful. And speaking of the wings, the flight mode. Okay, so now for the hard part, I'm going to try and assemble this figure into her flight mode. As you can probably hear right now, I do have the instruction manual with me. I'm going to now attempt to have her in her flight mode. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. The flight mode is one of the worst things that I feel I've ever done in my 16 plus years of figure collecting. This process was very, very tedious, and it does not help that with my copy of the figure, a lot of stuff does fall off quite a bit. I think whenever you start to get the hang of it, it may become less of a nightmare to do. But for me, doing it the first time, I was like, oh my God. Not to mention, I was afraid that I was going to break something, and personally, I don't feel like breaking my $500 figure. But regardless, I did get her into the flight mode after probably like an hour and 30 minutes, and I will admit, she does give off an intimidating display when she is all displayed in her flight mode with all four of her insect wings. It is a very nice looking piece that I could potentially see myself displaying her like that on the shelves in the future, because it does look pretty cool, I will admit. Honestly, the level of engineering that went into making the flight mode possible, while yes, very convoluted and complicated, it is quite impressive. I will admit that. There's a lot of different moving parts to this that kind of contribute to the final result, and I do think it's pretty cool. So yeah, while the flight mode is a hellish process, it does give off a very intimidating result. And now for the final thing before I get into my final thoughts on this figure, here's a little bit of a size comparison for y'all. Obviously no diss to the people who have done it in Japanese, but I just noticed that strange little statistic on YouTube that I, at least at the time of recording and crafting this video, I will be the first English figure review for the S.H.Monsterarts Mother Legion on YouTube. Pretty cool little thing. So with that being said, I wanted to get as many size comparisons as possible. While recording the footage, I did kind of realize that I did not get any sort of movie monster series or Playmates figures in there, which if you have known me for a while and you've seen my figure reviews, you would know that I do often try to get the Playmates and movie monster series stuff in there. But regardless, same size relatively to the S.H.Monsterarts and High stuff. So yeah, here's just a little montage of all of the figures that I have compared the size to from multiple different companies. Overall, the size is about what you would expect for this figure. She is going to be a shelf hog. She is on the larger spectrum of the S.H.Monsterarts and even just Kaiju figures in general. She does give off a very big silhouette compared to some of these other figures. She may not be as tall as the Haya Ghidorah 91, but my god, she is still a very tall and very long figure. Not to mention, when you put her in her flight mode, she takes up a lot more space too, especially with those gigantic wings. And I will say something about the wings that I didn't bring up in the flight mode is you don't necessarily need the spindly little stands to display it with. I feel like the wings on their own can hold up very nice. So good job on S.H.Monsterarts for making the quality on the ball sockets for the wings pretty good. Overall, my final thoughts on this figure is I would not say this is worth $500 to $500+ and QC in some places could be better, but overall I still do like this figure. I will say that I'm definitely glad that I now do have a Mother Legion figure in my collection, and I'm gonna be honest, I probably will not collect a single other one in my entire life unless if Haya makes one and it really like swings for the ballpark. But overall, very happy with this, very happy with my purchase. I do not regret it in the slightest. I personally would only recommend this figure if you could find her on sale for a major discount. I really don't understand why this figure couldn't have been like maybe $300. $500 is pretty insane for a price, considering Iris was generally around the same size from what I can see and even has the same type of accessories, and that was about $300. So I really think Mother Legion could have also been in the $300 price range, but no, they had to make her $500+, and it caused the entire collecting community for Kaiju in general to cause a storm. It was insane. Even for someone like me, who is rarely picky about their pricing with figures, even I was actually pretty surprised on the pricing for Mother Legion. But anyways, besides the point, I think the only reason you should get this figure is if she is on a major sale, if you are a completionist for the Gamera line or for S.H.Monsterarts, or if you're wanting the ultimate Mother Legion figure, because I will say this is probably one of the best that you could buy. If you are willing to kind of put that price aside and look at what the figure is, and you get it. I do think that if you are looking for a Mother Legion figure for the rest of your life, this will suffice. If anything, just get the X Plus as well if you want to. Just depends. I do think personally for the price, I do wish there were more accessories. If anything, just a head accessory where it's like a battle damage version with red eyes and soldier drones. That's really all. Just like 2 or 3 soldiers drones, kind of like what the Heaves were for the San Diego Comic-Con 2022 Kong. I think if those effects and accessories were added into this figure, I feel like that price would have been much more justifiable. Maybe even just the flower that the Mother Legion create in the movie, that would have been a neat accessory as well. But overall, for what we have, I think it's pretty cool. I, unfortunately, only in this circumstance, I cannot say that the price is justified. That is kind of crazy. Even if there is some form of a logistical reason behind it, it is still a very insane price that I would not recommend anyone going for unless if the circumstances are right, like how it was for me, because this is now the most expensive figure in my collection. It's actually kind of insane. So yeah, if there is a sort of logistical reason behind it, like maybe the marketing and whatnot, I personally still cannot see the reason why it had to be $500. But if you kind of put that price aside and if you are able to pay it, I think if you are looking for a Legion figure and you're just wanting one, then this is probably the right pick for you. Either that or X Plus, or maybe even just waiting for a different company to make an articulated Mother Legion figure. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. Anything's possible in this reality. I don't know why I said it like that. So yeah, overall, I'm very happy with my purchase. I don't regret it. I've talked to some people about this and they have questioned my sanity in terms of buying this figure, and personally, I don't really blame them. This is my most expensive figure to date, and it probably will be for a very long time, unless if I decide to order something like a Prime 1 Studio statue or something. So we'll see, loose plans. If there's enough demand for it, maybe I will buy it, we'll see. So yeah, coming up on the conclusion for this video, I knew that I wanted to make this review since I do realize that there's not going to be a whole lot of S.H.Monsterarts Mother Legion figure reviews out there, and I know that there's probably going to be even less in terms of American YouTubers, so to say. Because I have looked online and there have been like some Japanese YouTubers or out of country YouTubers who have made reviews. And I feel like they've also done a good job reviewing them. So if anything, I also want to contribute to the piece of the pie here and give my own 2 cents on it, while also just taking some photos and videos of it. Because this figure is, while it does fall apart, yes, sometimes, it is fun to kind of like mess around with and make cool little crossover shots. I will say, if you want this figure like now after the pre-orders have closed and whatnot, good luck. From what I've seen, it is pretty much sold out on every single site, and I do not expect the aftermarket to be kind towards this figure. So if you do want this figure now, Godspeed, Spider-Man. And I have one more thing to say. Turns out buying super expensive shit does pay off in the end, because I will be a special guest on Figure Mania's live streams. Depending on when this video goes up, it'll either be tomorrow or later tonight whenever I get to be a special guest on his stream. So once the stream is done, I will be posting a link in the description of this video so you can see the entire stream for yourself, but also see if you can try catch it live, whether it be tomorrow or today, depending on when this video goes up, because I am currently recording this commentary at 2:57 in the morning. So yeah, I will be a special guest, and I will be talking about my personal experiences with this figure along with some other stuff, and it'll be a fun time. I'm very excited to hop on there with everybody. So there you have it. There's my personal review on the S.H.Monsterarts Mother Legion, the most expensive S.H.Monsterarts product to date, and I do not know if there will be another thing that surpasses the level of price of this figure in terms of retail pricing, but you will see. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I don't really know what my next toy review will be. Might be a little bit of time before I do another figure review. We'll see. I know that I eventually want to try and get a video done on Kujiro's new apes, but that's a story for another day. So with that, I'm Seismic. Subscribe if you're interested, drink plenty of water, and we'll see you all on the flip side. Peace out. And also, S.H.Monsterarts, where the hell are the Showa Gamera Kaiju? Give me a figure of my boy Barugun.